Welcome to nappycast.com. I'm tracking the next storm to come our way, but first we've got some cold air, some cold fronts. Yes, they're making their way down here from the north and the west. It is winter. You expect that this time of the year, but let's talk about snow, right? Let's talk about the next opportunity. Well, first, we've got to talk about this cold front that's coming through right now through Maine, and it's going to bring some much colder air tonight into tomorrow morning. So, somewhat milder today. Then we get that downsloping breeze that'll come through and cool things off. Here's the forecast next couple of days. And watch here as this weak front's going to come through. High pressure builds in from the north and the west. Here you see this big high. Okay, so we'll get much colder air. Start your Saturday morning. It's going to be chilly. Yeah, quite chilly. And then on Sunday, high pressure slides to our south. And because of that, we'll get a nice return flow, wind out of the southwest. So we'll warm things up a bit as we get into Sunday and especially on Monday. But there's not a lot of moisture with this except in the mountains here. You see in the mountains, there's some snow here, western mountains, up towards the Boundary Plateau in Maine, over towards New York, the Adirondacks. That's where the snow is going to be. Now, we desperately need precipitation. Moderate drought going on in Maine right now. You see that here from the coast all the way back up just south the Katahdin region, southern New Jersey. Look at that. That's an extreme drought there. So they really need rain to the southwest. So the saying goes, it can always be worse, right? So here's a look at the next opportunity for snow. This is on Tuesday into Wednesday here. So a fast-moving kind of short wave comes through the atmosphere like a car traveling pretty quickly. And this one is going fast enough, and it's got a little moisture over the Great Lakes that isn't going to ride this Arctic boundary that we have set up right now. So here's the Arctic boundary. There's your trough in the atmosphere. And this low is going to run pretty quickly down along that boundary. So the question remains here, how much moisture is this thing going to have as it's going to track right over New England? Is it going to kind of get into the Gulf of Maine, enhance a little bit? This is more of a couple inch situation, but this time of the year with these clippers coming through, we can squeeze out 2-4, or if it's a good fluff factor, you can get up around 6 inches. So let's get into that forecast now. So this is on Sunday. This is going to be just a mountain snow situation, more of a kind of like a snow squall thing going on. So that is on Sunday in the mountains here. Then put things into motion, and we'll get into Monday. We're all clear. Now watch what happens here for Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now, this is where that storm wants to kind of form here. Just go to Wednesday time frame. So the Arctic front comes through Tuesday, snow comes down, and then on Wednesday, you see a little bit of a low pressure system wants to form right here off the coast of Maine, and that would bring enough snow for a few inches for sure. So that, once again, but the question remains whether or not that low is going to form along that Arctic boundary, and if it does, then you've got snow. So snowfall amounts, so we'll go things out here. This is going to be the forecast. So into really Sunday, there's just a light dusting in the mountains, an inch or two. But then I put things into motion for Tuesday. Here comes the Arctic front with the snow squalls. So you got, an inch, maybe 2 inches up here in the the Katahdin region. I was thinking about New York for a second there. And then watch here as we go a little bit farther out into the storm on Wednesday. So this is full total snowfall from basically Saturday into Wednesday, but there was not much here along the southern coast. So this is really all from that Wednesday thing, okay? That Wednesday low. And you've got 6 inches right here in Penobscot Bay. So with the high fluff factor, and this is a 10-to-1 ratio, so you could even be higher than that. So it really depends. Is that low going to form here on the weather highway along the Arctic boundary? And that would be a plowable snow, which we desperately need another plow here to get some money for the landscapers here. So right now, Wednesday is the time frame for that snowfall, for that, I call it a storm. Yes, I call that a storm, not a major one, but I'll look at it now in more detail, what's going to happen temperature-wise as we get into the next several days here. So this is a forecast that is valid Saturday. So you're waking up tomorrow morning, I'm recording this on Friday, waking up tomorrow morning to there's much colder temperatures here with that passing Arctic cold front that comes through tonight. And then as it comes through tonight, watch what happens. We're going to warm up Sunday look at the anomalies here. It's a temperature anomaly, 18Z, so Sunday around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And look at all the red here. So we are in the positives for anomalies. So that's going to be 35, even a run for 40 degrees for some spots. Obviously not 40 degrees up in the county, but you're still going to be warming things up with the anomalies going up. Now this is where it gets kind of cool if you like it. Obviously cold. After Monday, Tuesday, watch. Look at these anomalies on Monday and Tuesday. This is before the Arctic front comes through Tuesday. Anomalies here are plus 12, plus 16, plus 20. So the start of next week is going to be quite mild. Make a run for the 40s. But then here comes that Arctic front. Now watch what happens here for Wednesday. This right here is that Arctic boundary. So here's the warm air. Here's the cold air. And is that low going to form right here along the Arctic boundary and throw that moisture right into that cold air? So that remains to be the question for the Wednesday time frame for a Wednesday storm. And then it would get a lot colder on the backside of that. So let's look at temperatures now. Here, I'm covering up Burlington. But look at temperatures now. This is waking up Saturday morning here in northern New England. And look at how chilly it is. Presque Isle again. Bangor 2, Portland 8. So obviously on the chilly side for sure. But watch what happens here when we get that southwesterly breeze on Sunday. So this is Sunday, call it 4 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday. Westerly breeze here in Portland 34, Bangor 30, Presque Isle 25. So, and things are going to continue to warm up here into Monday and Tuesday. Once again, ahead of that Arctic boundary. This is Monday. We'll call it 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperatures back above freezing in southern Maine. And then on Tuesday, again, temperatures above freezing in Portland. Bangor at 30. But then watch what happens here Wednesday. Here's 26 Portland, 20 in Bangor. Whether or not that Arctic kind of boundary, low pressure is along that boundary or not. But then into Thursday, you are just full back in on winter here. Wind out of the northwest, and the Siberian Express is just dumping that cold air into Maine Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, behind the Arctic front, you got cold air coming through, and also behind that storm. And then Thursday night, this is Friday morning. This is next Friday, and here we go, just dumping cold air back into Maine. -5 Presque Isle, 5 in Portland. So we are obviously not done with winter by a long shot. This is Friday, January 31st. But I want to point things out here about the storm now. So if I'm going to key in on a time like Wednesday for a storm, I have to look at where is low pressure going to form. And right now, the ensemble look at things. So you look at the cyclone location. So where is that low going to form right now? And obviously the computer modeling is not set in stone. You have this whole area of where that low could form. You want it to form, if you want a storm, right here in the Gulf of Maine. But right now there are L's everywhere. So with the L's being everywhere, obviously there is not a consensus right now for a storm. But as we get closer to it, and this is 144 hours out, a better idea. Hopefully the consensus begins to form of where that's going to happen. So right now, it is an opportunity for snow Wednesday. It is not something I have high confidence in at this time. And then we push things out just a bit farther. I want to take you into February time frame for whether or not we're going to storm here in the February time frame. And I can tell you it's not going to happen February 1st. Here's a big ridge coming in, so that would likely not be a storm at all. And then take things out a bit farther with the ridging that's building here. This is February 5th. So here's why I have low confidence for a storm unless it rides along a boundary. But right now, this looks more like temperatures here are going to be marginal, except in the mountains here. So you'd have to be in the mountains to get snow with a setup here. This is February 2nd. So let me go out here. February 2nd, and then I'll show you this here. February 2nd, look at this. We got the wind here out of the south. That's not a signal for a snowstorm, obviously. You've got a ridge building. So that is a look at things right now on the computer model run. I talked about yesterday how I did not believe that picture of that perfect kind of nor'easter. Here's the reason why. So you have obviously wind out of the south, temperatures above freezing, but on the ensemble look at things yesterday, things were well above average here. So as far as temperatures go. So that's why right now, early February, there's an opportunity, but I would say at this point, it is more of a mountain situation. So here we go. Forecast on Friday, January 24th in Maine. Lots of sunshine, typical high 28 and 14, 28, 32 with that northwest wind 10 to 20, obviously behind the front. So temperatures here pretty typical for this time of the year in Maine. This is what you'd expect. Temperatures right about that, even a couple degrees above. For tomorrow, though, it's colder behind the Arctic front. This is Saturday, January 25th. Sun and clouds mixed. Temperatures a bit cooler. The wind 5 to 10. Not as strong as it's going to be today when the front comes through. So on Nappy's notes, the cold front comes through today. It's chilly again tonight and tomorrow. And then a Sunday warm-up is coming into next week. And I talked about the next storm trend, whether it's Tuesday when you get the snow squalls, Wednesday a storm forms kind of along the boundary, or we get later into the week into next weekend. But right now, I'd say that looks more like rain than it does look like snow outside of the mountains here. So inland, the next 10 days, on the chilly side, they start the weekend, but warming up the second half. And then here comes the Arctic front. Look at Tuesday, Wednesday. We go 37 to 20 for the high. So obviously, it is much colder, significantly colder when that Arctic front comes through. I don't have the storm up here yet for Wednesday, because once again, you saw where those cyclone locations would be for a Wednesday along the boundary storm, and they're all over the place. There's no consensus yet. I actually have more confidence that there's going to be a February 2nd, 3rd situation going on right here with precip. There's more moisture to work with there, but that's still obviously several days away. Coastline making a run for 40. We get to 40 on Tuesday. And then we cool down after that, 40 to 26, 17 for the high, and then there's an opportunity for snow and rain. Once again, 44, 36 still, I would lean more towards rain, but we'll see what happens. For the mountains, this is the best shot for snow, is Sunday with the front, Tuesday the front. We'll see about Wednesday. I'm not, overly confident yet. And then right now, it would be a kind of snow over to rain situation, but still a lot of time to work that out. For the Mariners, things are pretty quiet. Small craft has been dropped, and things are quiet there. That's on nappycast.com. Now, if you want to go to my weather blog, this is on jasonnappyweather.com, and you can read all about, I go in detail about why I don't expect a big-time storm for early February because of that blocking that I just showed you. But all that stuff here, all the weather blog stuff on jasonnappyweather.com. Thank you so much for watching Nappycast. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Back at it tomorrow with an update.